So Ben, we're in the holding bay for everyone about to go
Yep.
up the hill. You can see the long line of cars behind us, but leading the way, leading the charge at the very front is possibly the star, dare I say it, at Festival of Speed this year, which is the Bugatti Chiron. Tell us about it.
Well, it's the most powerful car here with 1,500 horsepower. What's amazing with Bugatti is that they create things that are really groundbreaking in technology, because at those speeds, it's like driving through concrete. Aerodynamically, the resistance you're getting is phenomenally high. So that's why if you look at the profile, this has got a much more bullet-shaped appearance, and the guys are explaining that these vents here now, effectively, the way they're profiled, they're more efficient, and actually they're providing a lot more cooling now for the brakes, which get really hot when you go from 260 miles an hour. This one can do 261 miles an hour, and I think they can stop in something like 10 seconds. It's incredibly rapid stopping because they've got these very, very powerful carbon ceramic brakes. As you look around it, you can see that there's really no space in the car. Everything is sort of inboard that you need to go very, very quickly, but also to stop. And the wing at the back, it looks very, very small and a little bit flimsy almost, but it's working on hydraulics. So the car works in different parameters depending on what speeds it's being designed to work to. And that aerofoil provides downforce, but also when you shut off the power and you need to stop quite quickly, it flips up like an air brake and develops 0.6 G of deceleration, which is the most you would get on something like a VW Polo when you're braking because you're trying to not crash into a tree or something.
Quite a few Ferraris, unsurprisingly, waiting to go up the hill. But I think one in particular piques your interest. Should we go and find it?
It's very hard to choose because they're all beautiful. We've got the California T here, the Handling Speciale, and I drove one of the first of these to come into the UK, so I was quite chuffed with that.
The lovely 488 GTB, love it.
It's beautiful. Haven't driven that still, which is slightly annoying. But I have spent more time in the 458, which was really a kind of breakthrough car, I felt. Huge evolution from the 430. Amazing handling. So this is in my top 6, obviously, and this one is a special version, basically, which means that you can't buy it. This is the MM. People are trying to debate what MM stands for either marshmallow or multimillionaire, whatever it is that you need to be in order to own it. But basically, it's a one-off car for a customer, and the real big difference is mostly styling. So the A post has been sort of blacked out, so this has this appearance of being like a racing driver's helmet visor, and it's just a really beautiful car.
This is the Lamborghini Huracan, that's how you want to say it.
Yep.
A fabulous beast. As this is 4-wheel drive, there's the 2-wheel drive version as well, but here we've got it with some fantastic paintwork on it, and it looks great.
It looks great. This kind of, I don't know, it looks like it came off a Navy battleship or something in this sort of matte grey. I've driven one of these in rear-wheel drive, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is the replacement to the Gallardo, which was a lovely car, 4-wheel drive, but a little bit numb to handle, a little bit too much understeer. You felt a lot of resistance in the corners. You never really felt you could unleash the fury, whereas this is a little bit more aggressive. So I think it's kind of somewhere between the Gallardo and a Murcielago, which is an absolute weapon of a car, like the modern Countach. And yeah, I really like it. It's a phenomenal car. It's going to be fun watching this go up the hill.
Yeah, I can see behind it is the Spider version, which at the moment is only in 4-wheel drive, but I know they're bringing out a 2-wheel drive version of that as well.
Yeah.
Which will be the kind of boulevard cruiser version,
Yeah.
but none the worse for it. I mean, the torsional rigidity on the Spider is, there's very little to it.
It's great the way they've done that, because the old days, if you had no roof, you had a very wobbly car.
Yeah.
But these ones really work well, and I think if you want to frighten yourself and test yourself on a regular basis, go for the rear-wheel drive. But driving-wise, moving past the GT,
If we must.
is this, which is the Vantage S, and this thing is really, the handling is phenomenal. So originally what they did at Aston, they had the Vanquish or the DBS with a big V12 engine, had loads of horsepower, about 500 horsepower, and they had a big car to hold that big engine, and they had a small car with a V8. And they took the small car, ripped the engine out, and plonked in this huge V12 motor. And basically, when I drove the first version, it could feel it was like it's carrying this great weight, and the car was it wasn't really adapted to it at that time. 5 years later, this is the result, and it is the most honed piece of perfection. It's a manual gearbox. It does exactly what you want it to do all the time. The response and the steering is amazing, and the engine is just electric. And this will be one of the last naturally aspirated Aston Martins. So if you're looking for sort of the purity of a British sports car, supercar, I think this is, again, it's like the final stop. It's an end of an era, and it's really, they've made this car as perfect as they can.
Finally, 911, this in Turbo S form here.
Yes, yeah. Okay, the 918 is it's a lot more hyper than this car. The 911's been around for decades, so why pick it? But the Turbo has always been a sort of hallmark, benchmark car for Porsche. It's always been slightly mad. It's always had this big turbocharger that gave it this kind of colossal volume of power. But all cars are turbocharged now, so what makes it any different? But they've still managed to do it. So every year, Porsche reinvent the 911 Turbo, and this one is still unbelievably fast. It gives you that punch in the spine. You've got that visceral experience when you're driving it, and this phenomenal precision that you have, and the reliability. They do make a lot of these cars, but that doesn't detract from the fact that it's an amazing piece of tech. I always find it amazing how they're able to reinvent, and there's always these adjustments between the wheelbase, subtle changes in the weight distribution. They try and get the weight lower and more controlled. And the biggest thing they're juggling is the fact that this is a rear-engined car, and that weight across the rear axle can be difficult to manage. So they're always tweaking the suspension and creeping the engine weight slightly forward. So it's ironic because their biggest rival in a way is Ferrari, the mid-engine car, and Porsche. Sort of, if they keep creeping that engine forwards, it'll be a Porsche Ferrari or something. But they're very much their own brands, very, very different, and I think this is a real classic.
Thanks, Ben. Well, I think it's almost time for them to go up the hill. So from us here at Goodwood Road Racing, it's time to watch the action.
And I'll be chasing them in my Raptor.
Sterling! Happy to meet you. This is unbelievable. What a lovely man.